Good morning from Las Vegas. Resorts World's just a couple of weeks away from opening, so I thought we would do a complete walk around and see exactly what it looks like today. I'm at the convention center for the grand opening of the Vegas Loop and the West Hall for World of Concrete, so I'm going to head over there after that. But for now, let's take a construction tour of Resorts World Las Vegas just 2 weeks before opening. Peppermill, many people thought was in trouble when the Riviera, which stood right here, was torn out several years ago, but they maintained their lease, have held strong, one of the best places to eat in Las Vegas, and very soon Resorts World, its new neighbor, is opening, and that should be even better for Peppermill. It's a strange situation because there's no sidewalks, so the pedestrian detour is basically on this half-paved part of the strip. Construction trucks and workers everywhere. A unique perspective to be able to stand here in the middle of the strip without worrying about getting hit by a car. What a beautiful morning. You can see the tunnel, the main entrance off of the Las Vegas Strip at Convention Center Drive. Head under there, takes you to the back of the property where the parking garage is and the main entry areas are. Zook is a company out of Southeast Asia. They are going to be running all of the nightclubs and day clubs. 4 venues, I think. Huge resident DJs like Tiesto. Lots of money spent and high expectations for the night scene here at Resorts World Las Vegas. Just across the street to the south of Resorts World is an empty plot of land right on the strip. That's where Frontier once stood. The back half of the property is where the Trump Tower is. The front half of the property is undeveloped. It was bought by Wynn a few years ago, and they announced Wynn West, an expansion to their resort across the boulevard, but then later canceled it following Steve Wynn's departure. So the future of that land is in question, but no doubt with Resorts World opening soon, all the land in this area will be hotter, and can't wait to see what ends up right here. Resorts World only uses a fraction of the available land. This area where all the construction workers are is for expansion. This was a part of the original Echelon Place layout, part of the original Resorts World layout. This project got cut back in scale, and this area will eventually grow to be part of Resorts World. Quite a lot of space. If you can see the parking garage off there to the left, and the existing building off here. Quite a lot of space to grow here. A backside view, so much activity here. You can sort of see a pit down there. That's that road that runs from the strip. No doubt all hands on deck right now. A good look at just how good the quality of this screen is. We talked on MTM Vegas about the possibility if there will be any sort of glow coming from the screen back into the rooms. We're told no, so we'll see how that works in reality. Maybe some small glow on the rooms sort of directly across. Who knows, but this screen is visible from all over Las Vegas. From my house in Henderson, you can see it very clearly. One of the cooler aspects of this, very modern looking building. Would you want to stay behind the screen, or would you want to stay in a room that's not behind the screen? Let me know in the comments. The other night I stayed at Park MGM and had a pretty incredible view of City Center, and you can see the Resorts World screen in the distance. And that's because Las Vegas Boulevard is not a straight street, it actually curves. And you can sort of see that here as we have Cosmo directly to the left of Treasure Island, and I can see the Waldorf Astoria in the distance, the Veer Towers from City Center. And that means that Resorts World is going to have some very interesting strip views as it sort of looks straight down at this weird angle of these buildings on the strip. I can't wait to see what that strip view looks like just a couple of weeks. Perhaps one of the strangest parts of the setup here is the parking garage and just how far it is from the building. It's like quite a walk to that backside of that building. And that's because parts of the garage were built way back a decade ago for Echelon Place. And they used that part, of course. And so that's why the garage is here on the backside of the property. As they expand into that land I talked about earlier, it'll be closer to the garage. But it's just a reminder that this started as something else, sat here for a long time, and now finally it's going to open. So excited. Okay, we're on the back side of the property now. Sammy Davis Jr. Drive. As far back as you can go, way away from the strip. And there is this massive building here, which is at the back side of the parking garage. Not quite sure what it is. Is it sort of the HVAC area? I saw a bunch of sort of ductwork coming out of it. I don't know. If you know what this building is here on the backside of Resorts World, let me know. It does seem like probably some air conditioning up there, but I've just never seen such a big structure so far away from the main structures of a building. At opening, Resorts World will have about 3,500 rooms spread across 3 hotels. You have the Conrad, you have the LXR Crockfords, and then you have just a regular Hilton. Three distinct properties, but all fairly high-end. Still a lot of construction back here. I believe the steel structure predates the Resorts World construction. It's left over from the Echelon Place construction, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but this part, it certainly looks like it's not under heavy construction right now. So let's talk about the theater at Resorts World. Katy Perry, Carrie Underwood, Luke Bryan, Celine Dion, all doing residencies there at the end of this year into next year. 5,000 seats. It's supposed to be a state-of-the-art theater. Think of it kind of similar to the Park Theater at Park MGM. Unfortunately, it will not open with Resorts World. It will open later this year. So when the hotel opens, the casino opens in just a couple of weeks, that showroom won't be there, but lots of big-time shows coming to this north part of the Las Vegas Strip, and that's exciting. Not just that, but with the resident DJs. They spent a ton of money on entertainment to bring people up here, gambling that people will come. You can see the theater right there. This structure, another parking garage. And this part of the building is the Hilton. On the other side is that screen. On this side, not so much, but those will be the Hilton rooms. A little less than 2,000 of them. This is going to be your lowest tier hotel in Resorts World. The rooms are a bit smaller, around 450 square feet for a standard room. But still pretty nice. And just I think it's going to give you everything a typical Hilton would. Rooms look very nice, but not the fanciest. But thankfully there are 2 more steps up, and we'll talk about those in just a second. We're going to head into Circus Circus, see if we can get on the top of this parking garage and get some pretty cool views of Resorts World. All right, this is exciting. We're heading up to the garage roof of Circus Circus to see what we can spot of Resorts World. There is the Adventure Dome. Circus Circus now owned by Phil Ruffin, not by MGM Resorts any longer, so hopefully a renovation is in the works for there, but let's check out Resorts World. Each of the hotels here at Resorts World will have its own entry. Just judging by the location, I'm going to guess that this is the entry for the Hilton, because it's at the bottom of the Hilton Towers. And then if we go to the left here, there's more driveways around the bend. Probably Crockfords or Conrad. And I've always been sort of obsessed with this building right here. This glass structure. I mean, it has to be about, what, 10 stories high. What's in there? I was told it might be like a glass lobby, like a big atrium. Can't wait to see. It almost looks like they're using this area as a covered storage, keep everything out of the elements. It's just clear from the design here that until they expand, that they won't use this plot because of the garage sort of sitting between the property and this steel structure. Although with the theater just behind there and future construction perhaps expanding onto that piece of land, you could see that this could possibly someday be part of Resorts World and they could use it, but clearly now they're not doing anything with it other than storing a bunch of steel underneath it. And maybe that steel's been there forever, I don't know. Not quite sure what's going on. A lot of cars coming in. I'm guessing these are employees coming in for something, even though this is the hotel guest entrance. There is security here. But straight out there, we'll get you to the Las Vegas Strip. Very pretty landscaping here, and it's good to get a nice look at these entryways. A lot of progress has been made here just in the last couple of weeks. Good stuff. You have to wonder, with Phil Ruffin now owning Circus Circus and its prime location next to the hottest new resort in town, what might happen here? Will it get redeveloped? At least get a renovation? What's the future of Adventure Dome? Certainly, Circus Circus is poised to do fairly well sitting next to Resorts World, but it does need some help. And hopefully it'll get it. To the right is the garage I was on. You can even see the stairs going up, but it's not connected for some reason to the garage on the left. You would have thought they would have maybe built a bridge or a connection. And so we got to journey up to this other garage to get even more views. But I'll do that just for you guys. If you like this video, if you like the channel, please subscribe, smash the thumbs up button, and leave a comment for me. Tell me what you think of Resorts World. Let's head upstairs. Viva Las Vegas. Better view of the Conrad. So let's talk about the Conrad. Conrad is an upscale brand of Hilton, probably similar to Waldorf Astoria. But this Conrad, I would say, is a little bit more down market than its competitor, or than its other sister properties in, let's say, Asia. Average room here about 550 square feet for a regular room. There's almost 1,500 rooms in this Conrad, making it the largest in the world. But it's only the mid-tier hotel here. A bit of a controversy is there are no tubs in the standard rooms at the Conrad, something I would expect at a property of this caliber. So there you go. Controversy. But I will be staying there in just a couple of weeks. Great look down Resorts World Drive. You can see the Convention Center West Hall expansion just in the distance. This will be an incredible convention hotel and is expected to get a stop on the Vegas Loop or the LVCC Loop, where you'll just be able to hop on a car into the tunnel and into the convention center in just a couple of minutes. And walking ain't that bad either. Where I'm standing now is Circus Circus land, but all of these trailers and all of these trees and everything here, this is all Resorts World land. You can see that other entrance probably for the Conrad. My guess is the Crockfords entrance is on the other side. But the rumor is that the second phase is not, the expansion is not going to be on the other side with all that land. It'll be right here. And I think that makes sense. With Circus Circus here, the convention center on this side, this would make sense. This is a decent plot of land. Probably throw up another tower. Definitely can have a modest expansion over here. It's hard to believe that this little gate right here, I see they put up the bigger fence to protect people, but that little gate was all that protected people from driving off the edge here. So I showed you the plot of land where Wynn West was announced, and hopefully at some point soon we'll learn what might go there, whether it's Wynn deciding to develop the land or selling it to somebody else. One of the other big pieces of land here on the north area of the Strip is Fontainebleau, or the Drew, or whatever it's going to be called, recently purchased. It was going to be a JW Marriott, also known as the Drew, but I believe those owners are now gone, and Koch Industries is a part owner, and it's under redevelopment, with Resorts World opening basically across the street, the new convention center expansion. I think we're finally going to see that project, which itself has been stalled for over a decade, finally get completed. As I've said many times, the north end of the Strip is the new hotness. There's also land right in front of that McDonald's in the distance, in front of the convention center expansion, basically where Riviera once stood, right on the Strip parcel. They're selling that front part of that land, so that could be developed into something as well. So I think a lot of new things could be happening on this area of the Strip when you add in Venetian Palazzo and Wynn Encore. You have some of the nicest hotels in the world all right here. I talked earlier about some of the Strip views that I would expect from here facing the other side, but one other thing I like about this building is just look at the curvature of the building, and that means you're going to get some unique views within the building itself, unique perspectives of Las Vegas. It's going to be fun to get up there and see exactly what these views are, but even in the Hilton, from one side of the building to the other, sort of similar to Wynn Encore, you're going to get different views, and that's exciting. Circus Circus Buffet just reopened, but part of it is turning into a food court. But people are already lining up to get in today to get their grub on. you don't want any of the fancy food at Resorts World, McDonald's is just steps away. This McDonald's predates Resorts World, obviously, but it was recently renovated, and it's sort of sandwiched in here between Circus Circus and the Resorts World entrance, and you can see the driveway is just steps from the sign and from Resorts World itself. Do you know what the heck this building is all the way out over here? Let me know in the comments if you know what it is. Not too elaborate, so they could probably get it finished fairly quickly, but interesting. So we showed you the screen where the Zook nightclub is and the big LCD on the other side of the building on the Hilton side. And then there's this screen right here, a beautiful Resorts World marquee sign. But we're not done yet. That's 3 screens, but there are 2 more, believe it or not. The first one is that giant vertical screen you see on the side of the building there. And then there's this, the Resorts World logo with a screen. I imagine they could put a lot of stuff on that screen, but right now it's just sort of going green to blue. Oh no, there you go, you got an American flag. And so, screens everywhere here. Everywhere you look, really high quality. The future, I suppose. But it's good to see Resorts World finally getting there, even if it's taking an army of people to do it. Pretty cool. I like it. What about you? And that's what Resorts World looks like today, just a couple of weeks before opening. A beehive of activity, an army of workers, all here installing landscaping, no doubt finishing off the inside. And the Las Vegas Strip will never be the same. Each one of these places changes the landscape forever. And in this case, getting this new property, the first one in over 10 years, on the north end of the Strip, this area of the Strip that used to be the hot area back to the 60s and 70s, it's now going to be coming back again. And this property looks to be a worthy reason to venture into this area of the Strip. Good shopping, dining, entertainment, nice hotels, what looks to be a nice casino, and different vibes than you get from anything else here. I'm excited. So what do you think about Resorts World? Are you excited to visit? Don't forget to like, comment, share, let people know that this video is here. Thanks so much to everybody who watches, subscribes, and helps us out. See you in Vegas.